This car right here is known as the best car in the world. This is the Mercedes S-Class. But this isn't your regular S-Class. Because this is the Mercedes-Maybach S680 V12 Night Series. And it costs rupees 4.83 crores on road Mumbai with all the options like the first class rear compartment for rupees 6.27 lakhs, the folding tables at the rear for rupees 2.69 lakhs, the electric rear doors for rupees 2.01 lakhs, the refrigerator for rupees 1.72 lakhs, the silver plated champagne flutes for rupees 4.77 lakhs. But are missing on this car, hence I got my own. Cheap and made of glass, easily breakable too. This dual-tone Onyx black and Mojave silver paint scheme for rupees 26.2 lakhs and the night package for rupees 40 lakhs. As the Night Series is a special edition, it gets this special dual-tone paint scheme, rose gold elements in the headlights with the Maybach branding, which look more orange though, and all the chrome elements on the exterior are now finished in dark chrome, like the key, Mercedes logo, grille, strip on the bonnet, side and rear, Maybach logo on the C-pillar, boot lettering, tailpipe trim, and door handles, which are illuminated at night and pop in and out for better aero efficiency when you lock or unlock the car. The biggest exterior highlights are the 7-spoke wheels, which have a ton of Maybach logos on it, mounted on 255/40 20-inch tires. On the interior front, you will find Night Series branding on all the door sills, but it doesn't illuminate like the Maybach branding, which is right above it, does. The instrument cluster, infotainment screen, rear entertainment screens, and rear tablet show a Maybach Night Series animation every time you turn on the car. The center console has a ton of Maybach logos on the piano black panel, and all the doors also project multiple small Maybach logos on the ground at night. The front ones also project a big Maybach logo. Actually, there are a lot of Maybach logos in the cabin, including on the seat back, accelerator and brake pedals too. Other changes include black pearl Napa leather upholstery, high pile carpets and dark brown open pore brown walnut wood trim with aluminium accents. That's it. The changes are just cosmetic. Actually, there are more changes like AC vents in dark shadow gloss, but all of this is so small that pinpointing every change here will make this video 1 hour long. So let's focus on what makes this S-Class Maybach so special. It's a long car with a length of almost 5.5 meters and a wheelbase of almost 3.4 meters. It's basically 180 mm longer in length and wheelbase when compared to a regular S-Class long wheelbase model. And that translates to 5-star comfort at the rear because the executive rear seats recline by 43.5 degrees. The leg rest can be adjusted by up to 50 degrees and you can adjust the powered seats in 14 ways using the touchscreens. The front seats are 16-way adjustable. But since this car is equipped with the chauffeur package, you can simply press a button on the door which pushes the front co-passenger seat all the way ahead, folds the headrest on that seat, tilts the rear screen, extends the rear seat base, reclines the rear seat to the maximum, extends the leg support and opens the footrest. Yes! Necessarily in this particular order. This car truly transforms the rear seat into a bed in 37 seconds and even someone as tall as me, 6 feet 2 inches in height, is able to stretch comfortably. Truly first class. Rear seat occupants also get their own noise cancelling headphones. 11.6-inch high-resolution screens, 7-inch Samsung tablet in the armrest, aircraft-style magazine holders, well-damped handles, big moonroof, seat belts which electrically move forward for easy retrieval, heated and cooled cup holders in the console that opens with a touch of a button, and electric sunblinds for the side windows which also have a separate electric blind for the small quarter glass. The seats deserve a special mention because all 4 of them are very comfortable. Power adjustable in a zillion ways and can be heated and ventilated, and there are 10 massage options too. In fact, all seatbelt buckles also illuminate red at night. The front seats also get extendable under-thigh support and a dynamic function wherein the seat side bolsters move to support your body when you turn the car. sweet. The driver can also adjust the co-passenger seat from the door controls. In this S-Class Maybach, there is no cost cutting when it comes to materials used. Switchgear quality is exceptional, and even the first aid kit and toolkit box is very premium here. But what's the use of this? Anyways, the S680 is a very well equipped car. Some of the highlight features are big sunroof at the front that opens in a big way. 3-spoke leather steering wheel which has touch buttons and is power adjustable. 4-zone climate control AC with buttons next to the AC vents to regulate the fan speed. Dual sun visors on each side that are also extendable. Laminated glass with heat and noise insulation. Car wash mode, onboard air fragrance, but the perfume bottle is missing in my test car. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Soft pillows on the headrest, the rear ones can be lowered with the touch of a button. Inbuilt navigation with 3D view. Dual wireless chargers, one each at the front and rear. AR heads-up display which has 5 modes and also shows you front and rear parking sensor display. 8 USB-C ports because of the Rs 60,000 USB package, 2 HDMI and 2 12-volt power outlets. 10 airbags including knee airbag, rear front airbag and belt bag on the seat belts. Actually, with optional airbags, this car can have up to 18 airbags. Level 2 ADAS, which runs via the big radar you see on the grille and multiple cameras on top of the windscreen, one of which also auto activates when you reach a traffic signal. The forward collision warning, lane keep assist and rear cross traffic alert also alerts you via the active ambient lighting. That is itself a Rs 1.19 lakh option. It's the best ambient light in any car I have ever seen. It's bright, there are 64 colors plus multicolors and some Night Series specific colors as well. It does a welcome light swipe on turning on the vehicle and also swipes red or blue from the inside to the outside when you alter the temperature. In fact, it does that at the rear too, including on the front seat back. Digital light at the front and OLED tail lights have amazing welcome and goodbye animations when you lock or unlock the car, with the headlight doing a nice light show when you turn on the car using the engine start button, which has the same design as the headlight control switch. Talk about symmetry. The 31 speaker 1750 watt Burmester 4D sound system has speakers in the seats for an immersive sound experience.
You know I know how to make them stop and stare as I fall. I'm trying to put you in the worst mood I've been.
The tweeters rotate at the front and rear every time you turn on and off the audio system, but this sound system is a Rs 8 lakh option. The 360-degree parking camera has multiple camera views and can be set to auto-activate at a GPS location of your choice. The rear camera is hidden and pops out when engaged. But I don't know why other cars around appear bigger and the color of the car here doesn't match the actual color. I mean, this is the night series, so it should be black. It's not the day series, so why is it white? Same is the case in the vehicle settings menu too. The 12.3-inch instrument cluster is fantastic and has 7 different cluster views. Along with a special Maybach view which appears different in day and at night, but because this is a 3D cluster, it costs an additional Rs 1.78 lakhs. The 12.8-inch OLED vertical touchscreen is super slick to operate, and although physical buttons are few like the biometric sensor, the screen is responsive with menus very well laid out. The wipers are amazing with an intensive cleaning feature where the wiper sprays a lot of liquid on the windscreen and holds position before swiping back. It looks quite magical. By the way, the comfort doors can be operated in a ton of ways. You can open and close the rear doors from the infotainment screen or the rear entertainment screens or the center tablet, or by pressing this button here, or by simply pulling the door handle on the inside or tapping it on the outside. Gesture control is an option too. It also has soft close doors, with the hinges also having the name of this video's viewer written on it. The S680 can also park itself, which is impressive for a car of this size. It can accelerate, brake, steer and even change gears. In fact, this car has so many features that it comes with a 600-page user manual. Thankfully, there's a digital version of the same in the infotainment screen. This S-Class is a very smart car. No pun intended. It can automatically adjust your seat basis your height, warn you when the front co-passenger seat hinders left side visibility, and also remind you to take your phone in case you forget it.
Just a moment, you've forgotten your phone.
It also gets "Hey Mercedes" voice commands.
Hello, I'm Mercedes.
The cabin lights can be operated with a simple touch, and the front seat belts get the height adjust function. But not all is perfect, because for a car of this price, I expect the Mercedes logos to always be pointing in the right direction on the alloys, and headlight washers, camera washers and night vision infrared cameras should have been offered, as old S-Class models had some of these features. Also, the front center AC vents tend to reflect on the windscreen on a bright day. Using run-flat tires, the S680 doesn't get a spare wheel. Yet, the powered boot is quite small at 495 litres because of the refrigerator, but that can be removed easily. There are quite a few storage spaces, like a small cubby hole under the boot floor, a Mercedes branded ashtray, big door pockets. The ones at the rear also have a lined bottle holder. Even the glove box is lined and can be locked too. The storage space below the front center armrest is a bit shallow though, but the one in the rear armrest is quite big. There is a net on the left side of the center console as well as on the right side in the boot, and a secret storage area right behind the infotainment screen. But since this is an S680 which has a V12 engine, let's just give it the beans. Okay, let's start driving by first turning off the air conditioning, and we are going to straight away come into the comfort mode of the car. Not the comfort, actually the Maybach mode, because usually I always come into sport mode, but today it's different. Hazard lights off and off we go. Now usually I give the car the full beans, but this car, which has a V12 engine, deserves some beans. But before that, we are just going to take it through very unconventional routes so that I can show you that this car might be big in size but somehow manages almost everything really well. Okay, it does crash through big bumps because of the low profile tires and the suspension being overly soft, but speed breakers, not a problem here. Okay, I need to raise the ride height. I press that button and the vehicle raises both from the front as well as the rear because of the air suspension, but it takes some time. It's not a very fast acting air suspension, and we are going to come into this small lane and drive this car here, and trust me on this, you will be surprised and shocked that in spite of the size, this car does manage quite well. For starters, this seat reclines by up to 23 degrees, so that that fold happens. That happens because of that. And even in the brightest of sunlight, the screen is so visible because the screen is just fantastic. There is no hooded binacle here, but yet you do not ever find any reflection on the screen. That's the level of quality, and I'm just going to turn on the camera because I can. Now I'm just waiting for GPS so that we can do the 0 to 100 km/h test. This car has got 253 LEDs for the active ambient lighting, which is absolutely insane, and performance is super measured, super cool, super smooth and super refined. But what exactly happens in Maybach mode? There are a lot of changes the car does in Maybach mode. For starters, it dulls the throttle response, it dulls the steering sharpness. It also makes the suspension soft, more so at the rear because the chauffeur is going to be driving, and that's when the Maybach mode is used. So it's like a comfort plus mode. That's not all. The gear changes also differ because there's a separate map in Maybach mode for the gears, and the car starts in second gear so that there are fewer gear shifts, so there's no jerk, and the person sitting at the rear feels way more comfortable. Now we're going to go through some curves here, and you will be surprised that a car of this size is just so damn easy to drive. Look at it. Firstly, I love the way the Mercedes logo is visible on the top, which gives me a nice view of what's around. I love it. It's absolutely fantastic. Because of the logo, I just feel so cool while driving this car on the driver's seat. And then when you go through corners, trust me on this, this is a car which manages everything so smoothly. Okay, it has got all-wheel drive. It's a 4MATIC system. And the kind of speeds it does with effortlessness is something you would definitely appreciate. The steering is light. It's so damn easy to drive this car. Trust me on this. If you feel you cannot drive this car, I challenge you. Drive it and you will be shocked because of the level of smoothness, the kind of refinement it has, and I love the 3D cluster as well. It's absolutely phenomenal. Okay, check this. Okay, look at this area. Now I'm going to make a quick U-turn here. Will we have to reverse? Obviously, we will have to reverse. No, we will not have to, thanks to the rear wheel steering, which by the way is optional. So there are two options. There's a 4.5 degree of tilt, which is for rupees 1.94 lakhs, or pay rupees 2.2 lakhs and get the full fat 10 degrees of tilt. And when you have 10 degrees of tilt, my goodness, the turning radius reduces to just 5.6 meters, which is just amazing. Yeah, that's mind-blowing. And around the corners, obviously there is body roll. The suspension is too soft, but somehow it's very enjoyable to drive this car. So what does the rear axle steering actually do? Well, it turns by up to 10 degrees under 60 kilometers per hour in the opposite direction to virtually reduce the wheelbase, thereby letting you drive this car across small roads so that you can easily turn it around. But above 60 kilometers per hour, it turns in the same direction as the front wheels by up to 4.5 degrees, thereby virtually elongating the wheelbase. And when that happens, obviously the high speed stability is nice and you can just feel the car just being so much more stable. The fact is that it does waft along quite a lot. It's very soft, and bad big bumps do catch out this car because it's low profile tires and overly soft suspension. This car suspension is soft in Comfort Plus mode, which is the Maybach mode, in Comfort mode, in Sport mode also. You name a mode, the suspension is just soft and always so soft. And I love the way the camera works. Why does it stop working at 20 kilometers per hour? I don't know. But anyways, we shall try and engage it again. See, that's the kind of respect. WagonR went on the side very well, knowing that it's part of the family, not the WagonR, the G-Wagon. I love driving this car, even though I'm not the chauffeur. But if I am the chauffeur who's being paid to drive this car, I would just be like so happy in life, because this is a car, okay, look, the camera got activated on its own. This is a car which feels $1 million, and it does feel so nice and smooth to drive. Look at the kind of pace it does, unbelievable. So why does it have a V12 engine? Isn't a V8 just about enough, which obviously the S580 offers? Well, with the V12, it has so much power in reserve, and it's not about outright acceleration, it's about smooth power, it's about reserve power, it's about refinement, it's about having all that grunt when you need it, and taking a turn and all is so damn easy here. It's just so okay. I could not find GPS only, I'm very surprised here. Come on, load there and off we go. I think there's some issue today. The satellite is not visible only to be able to find GPS for my specialist timing guy. Now, what do I put this into? Well, for starters, we have a display mode here, which is known as Info. So I'm just going to turn this on at the moment, and we're just going to put it into vehicle, where you can see how much accelerator and brake I'm putting at the moment. And I'm just going to change the cluster mode to understated. Now just imagine you're driving your beautiful S-Class, enjoying the road, which you will do only on a weekend, because mostly a chauffeur is going to be driving this car. That forward collision warning is right now showing me here on the cluster. It's also showing me there's a blind spot as well. So all the systems work fantastically well, and I'm on part throttle and the car is just pulling relentlessly. It's so damn smooth. So what powers this car? It's a 6-liter engine. It's a V12. Yes, 12 cylinders. However, this is an old school engine. It's known as the M279, but it's old school because there is no electric assist here whatsoever. No battery assist. No. Not even a 48-volt mild hybrid system. It's just pure internal combustion madness. And it has got 3 valves per cylinder, and it has got an SOHC layout. So I'm telling you now, this is an old school engine, and it produces 612 horsepower. Meanwhile, the torque output happens to be a colossal 900 Newton meters. That's without any sort of electric assist, which is mind-blowing. That's amazing. The result is 0 to 100 kilometers per hour comes up in 4.5 seconds, which, by the way, is actually fast considering the weight of this car, which is 2,300 kgs. In fact, this car is having 4 drive modes, and there is a configurable drive mode as well, where you can make changes to the engine, to the suspension, to the gearbox, and to the steering wheel as well. It's got air suspension, and like I was telling you, the air suspension is always soft. It's so damn soft, because of which the car wafts along. It's like you're driving on cloud. That's so amazing when you're on a good road. On bad roads, the problem is that if you come across a bump, you are in big trouble, because what happens is that the car will first go over the bump with the front tires, and by the time you reach the rear tires, the front have already crossed. So it gives you a sort of a bouncy feel, a rocking movement, which is not very comfortable. And this is because the wheelbase of this car is so damn freaking long, and the suspension is so damn soft that the ride over bad roads is not the best. But there's a solution to it known as the e-active body control, wherein there are cameras here which actually read the road condition and makes changes to the suspension in real time to alter the suspension and to make sure there's no rocking or bounciness. But that system is not offered in India, because Mercedes is like, we will give it only on the GLS Maybach, because we don't really need it on sedans. So I kind of differ on that. I mean, I don't agree to it, because I believe the S-Class needs it. Okay, low tire pressure, run flat tires. Anyways, off we go. the engine just murmurs. For a V12 engine, this is way damn silent. It doesn't make any sound whatsoever. I expected it to be loud, but no, it's not. At least it should be loud, higher end of the rev range. No, it's just damn smooth, so freaking refined. And the classic cluster mode, one of my favorites in a Mercedes car. I love the fact they've kept the classic analog dials, even though they are digital here. But that's so freaking awesome, and the eco display is not really agreeing with my driving style right now. But off we go, come on! Do you even feel the speeds in this car? You don't. And finally, our GPS is working. Yes, there's some range, and the road is also dry right now, which means we are going to be doing the 0 to 100 km/h test slightly ahead. But like I was telling you, this car is not about outright acceleration. The top speed 250 km/h. The 9-speed gearbox, which is a torque converter unit, is so damn smooth. You don't realize only when gear shift. It's damn smooth. It's so freaking refined. It's all about refinement. In fact, when compared to a regular S-Class, they have added foam on the rear wheel arch, because in the S-Class, the regular S-Class, it only has that foam on the inside. Here it's there on the wheel arch as well. And I'm saying regular S-Class because the Maybach actually makes the S-Class look like a regular car now. That's how much of a difference it makes. It's essentially a variant of the S-Class, but trust me on this, it's hugely impressive. It's mind-blowing. And now I'm just going to come into the sport mode, because it's time to do the 0 to 100 km/h acceleration test. We're going to come into ESP. We're going to turn off ESP as well. And we're going to stop here and launch the car. So hazard lights on, and along with the hazard lights, I have got some lights on the cluster, which is obviously for the tire pressure monitor, as well as for the traction control system, because I've just turned off the ESP, because we are going to time the car, how fast it goes from 0 to 100 km/h. And I'm having huge expectations from this car, considering the kind of grunt, the relentless performance it has to offer. It's fast, it's smooth, it's refined, it's mind-blowing. It doesn't make any sound whatsoever. How can a car be so damn freaking silent? But there's no launch control, which disappoints me a bit. So let's launch it. We come in the info screen here. I come into the engine data, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, hazard lights off, revving the motor, and off we go. That's 0 to 100 km/h in 4.56 seconds. That's accurate. Oh my goodness, the car pulls it pulls with so much relentlessness that you know this will reach its top speed of 250 km/h in a blink of an eye, because this car doesn't make you feel you're going fast. It just happens magically, and that is the power of the V12 engine, which, by the way, has twin turbos here, and you don't even feel when the turbo kicks in, because there's so much torque lower down. The grunt is real. Everything is so seamless and refined. It pushes you back into the seat very little. In fact, when you accelerate hard or when you launch it, the rear squats down with a lot of grace. The front lifts up like it's doing a favor, and then it launches. It does not happen like it does in, say, a G-Wagon, because the suspension has been made to make sure that occupants don't get disturbed at all. And because I've not raised the right height, I'm just going to take the liberty of turning the car around like that, and off we go. Come on, look at the way it goes. Red line comes in at around 5,500 RPM. Makes me come into the manual shifting, because I want to shift my own gears, bro. And let's do that, because then let me see if it holds on to a gear. It doesn't really do that, because if the chauffeur is up to some mischief, it's just going to disturb the person who's cracking a massive business deal sitting in the rear bench. So Mercedes doesn't allow that at all. It will shift gears when it needs to, no two ways about it. And the steering weighs up brilliantly at higher speeds, which is amazing. Now the ARAI mileage is the least I have ever encountered from ARAI, because the claimed one is 7.5 kilometers per liter. In the real world, expect 3 to 4 kilometers per liter, which gives it a usable tank capacity of around 300 kilometers, because it's a 76 liter fuel tank right here. And if you want efficiency, you're probably better off getting the S580, because the S580 has 500 horsepower, so around 112 horsepower less. But it has 200 Newton meters lesser torque, because 700 Newton meters of torque in the S580, which has a 4 liter, again a twin turbo V8 engine, which has a 48 volt mild hybrid system. And it also has cylinder deactivation technology, wherein it can cut 4 of the 8 cylinders to increase the efficiency of the car. But the V12 does not have any cylinder deactivation, because come on, you have a V12 for bragging rights. You don't want your car to be on 6 cylinders, right? You want the full fat 12 cylinders to be punching you all the time, and that's the reason no cylinder deactivation here. But cylinder deactivation has a small issue as well, because there was some issue with the software of the S580, because of which it used to pump in more fuel, and because more fuel was being pumped in by mistake, okay, what's happening? More fuel was being pumped in by mistake, the car would overheat, and then the car would also have the risk of catching fires. And then Mercedes did that fix for that S580 model because of this particular issue with the cylinder deactivation. So I'm not happy. I'm happy actually that there is no cylinder deactivation here. The horn is so damn awesome as expected. So like I'm telling you, there is absolutely no cylinder deactivation. There is no attempt to save fuel here because this is the only Mercedes car with a freaking V12 engine. Mercedes does not have any freaking V12 engine cars anymore. This is the only one. And 612 horsepower might not be a lot, but trust me on this, the performance is so damn good and the bragging rights are out of the world. In fact, the S580 goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. What are you doing, dude? Yeah, the S580 goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 4.8 seconds. So only 0.3 seconds slower, and that too has a top speed of 250 kilometers per hour. Around the corners, it's so damn awesome. Long wheelbase really helping the stability here. And because this is all-wheel drive, there is so much grip. Look at the kind of speeds, and then tires are screeching finally. And as I punch it, oh my goodness. Unbelievable performance. It's just so freaking magical the way this car pushes ahead, which actually makes me give you some real useful consumer advice. Should you buy this car or should you buy the S580 with 4 less cylinders? Well, honestly, performance is not a world apart here with the V12, so you're better off with the 580, right? 0.3 seconds slower when compared to the S680 from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. Not much of a difference. But the real difference is the price. Rupees 82 lakhs is the price difference between the S580 and the S680, and you can get all the features of the S680 on the S580 other than the V12 badges, of course. And now Mercedes is also offering the S580 with rear axle steering. Earlier it was not available because they offered it on the launch edition of the S-Class. The S400D I think had it, because it was imported. They could not really assemble it in India, the rear axle steering, so they did not offer it with the S580. And the S580 is actually assembled in India, and that's the one of the major reasons why the price of the S580 is so damn less when compared to this car, which is like 82 lakhs less for the S580. But why are they charging you 82 lakhs more for 4 cylinders? Well, they're not actually charging you 82 lakhs more for 4 cylinders. You are actually paying a lot of import duties to the government because this is a CBU, the S580. Oh my goodness. Yeah, kind of turned around like that. The S580 is actually CKD, locally assembled in India, because of which obviously the pricing is much more aggressive. And let's do the brake test here. Okay, tires screeching a bit, but very sure-footed. And let's do the acceleration test. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, hazard lights off, revs till 2000 RPM, and off we go. It's upshifting at 5000 RPM, 5500 RPM in second, and there we are, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 5.4 seconds, because I think there was a sort of a slope there. Didn't really let me accelerate the way I wanted, and that's the reason why it was not as fast as I expected it to be. But yes, it's a very fast car. It doesn't push you back into the seat. It's just relentless, smooth, refined, sure-footed performance, and it's unbelievable. This car is magical to drive. Let's put the navigation menu, because why not? I love the cluster. I think this is by far the best cluster ever. Look at it, mind freaking blowing. And if you make directional changes, you do not have to worry at all, because it just stays glued in its line. That's the level of sure-footedness. Yeah, I just wish it had the e-active body control, because our roads are full of bumps, and then with low profile tires you have to be a bit careful, and then it has run flat, because of which the tires are not that great. You can actually opt for silent tires as well. So in the Mercedes world, optional things are a world apart. In fact, that e-body control which I was talking about, the camera-based suspension system, is actually offered globally, but not in India. So I think they should offer that, because this is a CBU. So when it's fully imported, you should be able to opt for whatever you want. By the way, the same engine also comes in the S Guard, because it is the S680 Guard. Okay, this view is not the best, so we're just going to put the view right now, and it's quite accurate. Look at it, it's showing me collision warning there, and it's there, beautiful, where it actually flashes to tell you you're going to hit something ahead. So that is the active ambient lighting, which is, I think, one of the best. I've said it so many times already. The ride is not as good as, say, the S580, because the S580 is running on 19-inch wheels with a higher sidewall. Now there's something known as the pre-safe impulse sight function, which is part of the e-body active control, e-active body control actually, that suspension, wherein it is able to lift by 80 mm on the side when it detects an impeding side crash. I'm sure most of you have seen that video wherein an Audi is just lifting from the side. It's a similar system as the one which Audi offers, because all these German car brands, they are cooking, and how they do some amazing job. They're telling me that tire pressure is less on the rear left tire. Now that's not all. It also has a like a noise suppression system, which is basically active noise cancellation, wherein the audio system is set up in a way it plays low frequency sounds in reverse. However, this is the S-Class, so obviously it has to go one step up. What it does is it's able to detect road inconsistencies and then pump out counter sound waves, which are sort of phase shifted by 180 degrees through the bass speakers. So this ensures that you don't hear anything inside, and I think they have really hit the ball out of the park in terms of the refinement of this car. It's so damn freaking refined. It's freaking, oh my god, it's detecting from where about forward collision warning. I think Mercedes has really worked on its ADAS systems to make it much better, because earlier, you know, now they were too intrusive, but somehow now they're not as intrusive. It just works. Pollution control was invented in I don't know which year, but right now this car is beyond that year, because so much pollution coming out of those trucks. Anyways, I'm really tempted to compare this car with the flagship Rolls-Royce, the Phantom, because I feel this car really can give the Phantom a tough run for its money, because the kind of tech, the kind of features, technology, comfort and everything is just next level. We'll talk about that when I'm going to summarize this video. But before that, let's launch this car once again. So let me reset my specialist timing gear. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, hazard lights off, and off we go. That is 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 5.17 seconds. I think the V12 engine is heated up quite a lot. Trust me on this. When you keep the car on for some time and then just roam around the car, now you will feel the heat. It emits a lot of heat. V12s are known to heat a lot. Obviously, it doesn't heat the car as such, but it dissipates a lot of heat around. Now let's talk about the prices. Now this car costs rupees 4.07 crores if you're not opting for the Night Series. With the Night Series, obviously it goes to 4.83 crores, including all the optional bits here. But the S580 is priced at rupees 3.25 crores, and all of a sudden it seems like a bargain to me. Now this car actually rivals the Bentley Flying Spur and the Rolls-Royce Ghost. But here you are paying rupees 26 lakhs alone for the paint scheme. Why does it take so long? Because it takes 1 week to apply the paint, which is a lot. And the insurance on this car is rupees 15 lakhs for the first year. The registration costs a massive rupees 50 lakhs. So everything in the Maybach world is absolutely over the top, because things are super duper expensive. But you know what? I think I need to stop to show you one more cool feature which I've already shown you before, but there's nothing better than showing it to you through my POV. So we're going to stop here, and here we go. Intensive cleaning activated for 30 seconds. This is so freaking damn cool. I love it. I mean, what a genius feature. Who could have thought about it? Every feature in a Mercedes car is so out of the blue, and that's one of the major reasons why I absolutely love the S-Class. Whether it's the standard regular S-Class, I should not call it regular because it's not regular, even the S-Class is not regular, but left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, and off we go. And wheel spin, traction control, light blinking, right, left and center. If you think, okay, we do not reach 100 kilometers per hour, I'm actually accelerating slowly to try and hear more, but I can't, because this engine is too smooth, too refined, ADAS warning, and just next freaking level.
The Mercedes-Maybach S680 V12 is a phenomenal car. It's the best of comfort, tech, luxury, refinement and performance in a beautiful package. It is actually quite value for money too, because this car costs rupees 6.5 crores less than a Rolls-Royce Phantom 8, which isn't even close in technology and equipment to the S680. Making it the bargain of the century if you have that kind of money, obviously. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, that's the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Bye-bye.